a little easier for teenagers, especially when it comes to getting dressed. Lots of brands are doing gender-neutral lines these days, and here to show us what to look for is the Myles Sexton. They have the info. Myles, before we get into the looks, we've been talking about social media's impact on teens. I would love to pick your brain, know about your experiences with social media as a teen.
So for me, I mean, social media really saved my life when I was younger. I grew up in a really remote town, and so like I didn't have reference points to people like myself who are non-binary. So like the internet was really amazing, but it's interesting now that I'm like in my 30s and as I got older, how the internet's become so negative and just how much like bullying exists on there. And I really had to, I guess, check myself in terms of like how much I can handle in everyday life. So
yes, absolutely. I think that's such a reflection so many of us can relate to for sure. So let's get into fashion. How would you describe gender neutral?
So I think really it's that sweet spot that's like right in the middle where it's not super hyper femininity, not super hyper masculinity. You know, it's kind of like blurred within the lines, I think, between both. And like really shopping not only with gender free brands, but also like within both categories too. So like you really can kind of mix and match depending on how the garment's constructed.
For sure. And Myles, you're going to show us what we need to look for.
Yes.
We're going to bring out our first model, Alexa. Come on out, Alexa. Hello, hello. Nice look. Beautiful. Love the colors. Nice.
So one of the big ones, especially when it comes to like dress shirts, is that oftentimes a lot of women's blouses will have like a dart that's in the sides. You can kind of see it here. So this unfortunately is really going to accentuate any sort of like chest area.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to really accentuate that area, I really advise from getting a really great clean cut that goes straight down that doesn't have any sort of dart in this area. So this is from RW & Co's. It's their full gender neutral line. It's available online, which is really cool. And then we finish the look with a little bit of Levi's denim and some Aldo kicks, just to give that full sort of like neutral vibe. But
love it. And Alexa, it's you?
Oh, totally me.
Very good. Okay, give it up for Alexa. Thank you so much. Love the color. Let's bring out our next model, Mirror, who's been here before.
Yes.
Come on out. We love that you're joining us again. Beautiful look, head to toe.
So with Mirror, I really wanted to give the tip around, like, you know, if you're not wanting to like show off any sort of bits, you know, I really love wearing dresses as a longer sort of like hemline that kind of come to here because it kind of helps to conceal everything. You know, it's also really great if you have to tuck or anything like that. So that really, really helps. And then layering, so this is by Eliza Faulkner. She's an amazing Canadian designer. Highly suggest checking out her brand, like super inclusive size-wise and in terms of like gender identities. And then when we come down to the bottom, we just did a little pantyhose. So if like leg hair is something that makes you feel uncomfortable or is a sensitive area, you can use a legging, you can use some pantyhose. It's a great way to sort of soften that look. And then we sort of finish the look with some little auto loafers just to kind of pull this full look together.
Yeah, if you're going to go with pantyhose, pick the sparkly kind.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, that's beautiful. Mirror, thank you so much. Always a pleasure having you. Okay, next we have Jamie. Jamie, come on out and let's talk about this look. I'm loving the suiting. So good.
So with Jamie's tip, one of the big ones, especially for someone like myself that has like broader shoulders, this sort of area where the seam hits your shoulder is really, really important, whether or not you're going to have enough room to get your shoulder through the garment. So whether we're talking about a blazer or we're talking about a dress shirt, we want to make sure that this line hits that sort of highest point of the shoulder so that you know that it's going to fit. So when you're trying on stuff in store, it really helps. If not, it kind of bunches up really weird in the shoulder and it's uncomfortable.
You don't want that.
You can get some chafing in the armpit, and we don't want people to experience that.
No.
So we did a full suit from another piece from the Gender Free collection from RW & Co.
Oh, nice.
So beautiful. Did a little matching kick to go with the look. And then I also want to highlight too, as another really great brand is it's called Thief and Bandit. So they're another Canadian brand too, super size inclusive as well as gender inclusive too with it. So
it's
really
nice when you can get both, Myles, and I love that you keep bringing us new labels.
Yes,
that's fantastic. So introduce all of the new labels, and then everyone can be clothed the way they want.
Exactly, it's supporting local too,
That's
right?
Very good, Jamie. Thank you so much. Love that suit on you. That's nice. Leaves you, Myles, in this fabulous look.
So we're going to talk about pants a little bit.
Yes.
So pants is another one, especially for me when I was going through my journey. I was so uncomfortable trying to buy like women's pants and like just what would fit sort of my body type. And so one of the big ones that I love to focus on is like a starter pant is really bell bottoms. They were designed for everyone. So they're a really great one to kind of start with, and then you can kind of get more adventurous.
Yes.
So when we look at pants, there's kind of two areas that you really want to look out for. You want to look out for the zipper area because oftentimes in women's it's a lot shorter, and in men's it's longer. So depending on your body type, you want to look there, as well as sort of that seam on the end. So with Levi's, they have so many different lengths. Women's might be shorter, men's are a lot longer. So really pay attention to how long that is, depending on your body, and it will help to make it fit a lot more comfortably.
Do you find, Myles, you often have to go for tall or a longer inseam?
Yes, always. I need like a 32, 34 a lot of the time because like women's pants, they like look like capris on me.
Right?
So
That's a perfect length. I love it, and a little bit of stretch goes a long way.
Yes.
Myles, thank you so much always for the info. We love you. Find more details on these looks up at cityline.tv. For now, we're going to break. Stay with us.